Hi everyone, it's Michaela. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first video that you are seeing of mine. Today I'm doing my Disney trip recap. About a month ago, my boyfriend and I left for our Disney vacation from January 7th to January 15th. And I made a bunch of TikToks about it, and a couple of you were DMing me and asking me for like a trip recap on my YouTube. So that is what I'm going to be doing for you guys. If you don't know, Disney is probably my second personality. All my friends know I am obsessed with the ocean and all things fisheries and marine biology and all things Disney. So my boyfriend and I are both really huge Disney fans, and it was just a dream come true vacation, and I loved it. My boyfriend loved it. So I'm just going to be breaking down every day, where we stayed, what we did, and just everything that has to do with our Disney vacation. I'm assuming this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, so grab a drink. I'm drinking some coffee out of my Disney mug, and let's dive in. If you guys see me looking this way, it's because I have everything typed out on my phone. But like I said, we went January 7th through the 15th, and we stayed at Caribbean Beach Resort, and we had a king bed in Aruba. So a grand total for that, including our park tickets, was $3,660.28. So when you think about it, it is a moderate resort. We were right next to the Skyliner, right next to a bus stop, and we had all of our park tickets included. That is honestly not that bad. We thought that that was very doable. Before I get into what we did day to day, I'm going to talk a little bit about Caribbean Beach. So Caribbean Beach was not a hotel we were originally looking at. We were originally looking at Art of Animation or Pop Century or a value resort, but we ended up crunching some numbers and we were able to swing the Caribbean Beach Resort, which I'm so glad we did. That hotel was just amazing. The pool, if you guys haven't seen the pool at Caribbean Beach, I'm gonna put some pictures on the screen. It was so fun. My boyfriend and I were acting like 3-year-olds going down the water slide and just having a really great time. The pool bar at Caribbean Beach is also one of my favorites. I don't drink a lot. I drink a little more in the summer when I'm not at school, and then I also drink on vacation, but in day-to-day life, I'm really not that big of a drinker, so I took advantage of that pool bar. And my preference for alcoholic beverages is very like pina colada, very tropical, so everything there was a huge hit. With Caribbean Beach Resort, it is, I think it's the largest resort on Disney World property, and I didn't realize how big it was. Like I said earlier in the video, we were staying in Aruba. So there's Trinidad, Aruba, Barbados, and there's one more that I'm blanking on the name. So if you guys want to be close to the Skyliner and you're thinking about booking at Caribbean Beach Resort, you need to book a preferred room or request a preferred room. We booked our room, and when we were doing our check-in process, I requested to be near the Skyliner and near the bus stop. And boy, did Disney World deliver. We were maybe a 3-minute walk to the Skyliner, and we were a 1-minute walk from the bus stop. I will say we were about a 7 to 10 minute walk from the pool, the lobby, the restaurants, but we were there to go to Disney World. We weren't really hanging out at the pool all that much. We had one day where we had a rest day and did a pool day, but other than that, it wasn't that bad. At the resort, like I said, there's a quick service, and there's also a sit-down restaurant called Sebastian's Bistro, and that food is so amazing. It is family style, so it's brought out and you dish it out yourself onto your plate. We wish we would have done it another night, because that was a day where we were snacking a lot and we really weren't that hungry, and I think we ate maybe 1/4 of all of our food. And then as far as the quick service goes, I was in love with the quick service breakfast. I'm a breakfast girl. I could eat breakfast 3 meals out of the day and then some waffles for dessert. But I just had a lot of Mickey waffles. They had a bagel that both my boyfriend and I were obsessed with, and it was literally like a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. I don't know why we were so obsessed with it. The last thing I will say about the resort before we jump into our days in the parks is I got a lot of questions asking if I would stay there again and would I recommend other people staying there. So if we would stay again, Yes and no. And the no is just because I really want to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge next time we go, but we would have no problem staying there again. We absolutely loved it. Would I recommend anyone else to stay there? This is also a yes and a no. So yes, if you are going to want to have some really nice drinks and a really fun pool, and you don't really care about the Disney theming too much in the room, 100% I would say stay here if you can afford it. Now, if you have younger kids, I personally probably wouldn't take like my really young kids here because the theming in the room is not so much Disney. Like my boyfriend and I joked if we wanted to go on a Caribbean vacation and we couldn't afford it, we would literally just come stay at this hotel and eat here and not even go to the parks. So the value resorts are going to have a lot more Disney theming, and I always told myself that when I take my kids to Disney World, we're gonna stay at like Art of Animation or something that is very, very themed to Disney, down to every single detail in that room. I'm almost 23, my boyfriend is almost 28, so obviously we did not need that much Disney magic in our room. So that is my answer as to if I would recommend it to someone and if I would stay there again. Now getting into each individual day. So day one was January 7th, and if you guys didn't know, my boyfriend and I are from Alaska, but we didn't fly from Alaska to Florida. We flew from California to Florida because we spent a week in California beforehand visiting my family and catching up with them. So we flew from LAX to MCO. Now, we were supposed to fly LAX to Charlotte to MCO, and our flight was supposed to leave at like 5:40 in the morning, and we were supposed to get to Florida at like 5 p.m. at night. Now, we were sitting in the airport. It was like 3:30 because I always have to get there early. My boyfriend is the type of person, he would rather just like rush through security, get to our gate and board. And I'm the complete opposite. I would rather sit at the gate for 2 hours knowing that my plane is right there and I'm going to make it rather than stress. But I go on. I digress. So we're sitting in the airport and we're waiting for Dunkin' Donuts to open, and all of a sudden I get a notification from American Airlines saying our flight was canceled. And then everybody around me was like, was your guys' flight just canceled? Why was the flight canceled? And we're all like starting to panic. And so they rebooked us on a flight at noon. It was like 4:30 in the morning at this point. So my boyfriend and I were like, absolutely not. We are not waiting here 8 hours. And this wasn't a situation where my mom could just pick us up from the airport. Like, I'm an hour away from LAX. So it would not make any sense to drive, pick us up back to the house, and then drive us again. So we started calling, waiting in a bunch of lines, and eventually we got on a flight that left, I think it left at 8 a.m. And then we actually got to Orlando. It was a straight shot from LAX to Orlando, and we got to Orlando, I think 40 minutes earlier than we were initially supposed to arrive. So as frustrating as that was, it actually ended up working in our favor. Once we checked into our hotel, we were gonna go to Disney Springs, but being up since 2:30 in the morning and now it was like 4 p.m., we were just super tired, and we ended up ordering Chick-fil-A and just kicking it in our room. I think we watched some Disney Plus or watched a movie and just relaxed and went to bed early because we had a Disney-filled day the next morning. So day two would be January 8th, and that was our Hollywood Studios day. Now, we did this day first because one of my boyfriend's Christmas gifts was making a lightsaber in Star Wars land, and he was super excited, and I was really happy that I was able to make that work for him. I was in Disney World 3 years ago exactly from the dates that we were in this year. So I went in 2020 before COVID took over the world, and I didn't do Hollywood Studios, so I was really excited to experience it for the very first time. And in Hollywood Studios, we didn't do any special dining or anything like that. We did purchase Genie Plus, I think, every single day we were in the parks except one, which I'll go into later. And as far as this day, it wasn't too crowded. I think the longest line we waited in was Slinky Dog Dash for 70 minutes because we didn't feel like using our Genie Plus selection on that. We rode Rise of the Resistance, and we rode Smuggler's Run, and I think we did almost all of the rides there that we wanted to. And we did Rock and Roller Coaster, which was both of my boyfriend and I's favorite ride. We just thought it was so cool. My favorite thing about Hollywood Studios is gonna be so random, but it was the chicken salad sandwich from Woody's Lunchbox. Now, everyone knows that Disney food really isn't the best. I grew up going to Disneyland, and my mom was constantly packing us sandwiches and snacks because they were just overly priced for what the food was. Not this chicken salad. This chicken salad was probably the best chicken salad sandwich I have ever had, except my grandma's. No one will ever top my grandma's. But I took a bite. I was so shocked, and I made my boyfriend try it, and I ate every last bite of that chicken salad sandwich. And I was in class the other day, and I thought to myself, I want a chicken salad sandwich. Hollywood Studios was also the day that I started getting sick. Now, my boyfriend was sick the week before while we were in California, so I knew it was coming, and I was pumping myself with liquid IV and vitamin C. And it wasn't until our next day, so that would have been day 3, that I was starting to get super, super sick. And that brings us to day 3. We were supposed to go to Epcot, got the Genie Plus, got the lightning lanes, got everything set up at 7 in the morning. We got a boarding group for Guardians of the Galaxy. And we get to the park, started drinking around the world, had one drink. I think I didn't even finish it. And we ended up having to go back to the hotel because I was just so sick. I could not do it. And I was really disappointed because drinking around the world was something that me and my boyfriend were so excited about, because last time I was in Disney, I was 20 and I couldn't drink around the world. But sadly, I did have to go back to the hotel. And I think we went back right around 3 p.m. and I took a nap. I woke up at like 7 thinking it was the next morning and that I slept through like the whole night. But I literally just slept like 4 hours. That's how sick I was and like how delirious I was. Now on to day 4. Day 4 was our scheduled rest day. We had 2 scheduled rest days for our trip because this is vacation. Like, I want to enjoy the pool. I want to go to Disney Springs. I want to sleep in one day. And we just spent the day at the pool. I was feeling a little bit better, and we went to Disney Springs. And then by the time we were done at Disney Springs, we were eating at Rainforest Cafe, and I was like, dude, I'm tapping out. I'm done. I'm getting like, I'm feeling really crappy again. But we just spent the day at the pool, had a lot of drinks. I made a TikTok about the pool bar, and it was like the wraparound. So if you guys want to check out my TikToks from that trip, my TikTok will be linked down below. After our rest day, we had day 5, which was Magic Kingdom Part 1. We did 2 days in Magic Kingdom because there's just such a big park, and last time I was in Disney World in 2020, I really didn't get to do anything, so we did 2 separate days. And on our first day, we did a Be Our Guest reservation. Honestly, I don't think I will ever eat there again. There's nothing wrong with the food, but it was just a really dry pork chop, and for the price, I've done it twice. I did it in 2020 and 2023, and 2 and done. I don't think we'll ever eat there again when we go back to Disney, but it's always really nice to do, and it was my boyfriend's first time. We also got Genie Plus, and Genie Plus is very different from FastPass, but it's very easy to learn. If you guys are planning your Disney World vacation, I highly recommend joining the Facebook group. I think it's Walt Disney World Tips and Tricks or Disney World Tips and Tricks. I was constantly asking questions about Disney Plus and the resorts and everything, and everyone was more than happy to answer. And if you guys are afraid of handling Genie Plus when you get there, don't worry about it. Genie Plus is actually very, very simple to use. You just kind of have to learn ahead of time is what I did. So when I want to book those really popular lightning lanes at 7 a.m., I know how to do it and I don't have to be scrambling and not get it. This day we also watched the fireworks, and I don't know about you guys, but fireworks make me so emotional, especially Disney fireworks. And my boyfriend like looked at me and I was just bawling, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm perfect, like this is awesome." And nothing will ever beat watching the Disney fireworks after a long day. Your feet are hurting and just having just a great time. For my favorite things about Magic Kingdom, I have 2 of them. Number 1 is the fireworks, and number 2, the cheeseburger spring rolls. I don't know what they put in them. I tried Googling it, and I think I'm gonna try and make them at home. I had 4 of them. And now you buy them in like a 2-pack. I had 4 of them each day that we were there. This is how bad the addiction was. And my boyfriend tried it and he was like, this is the most vile and disgusting thing I've ever had. Please do not give me any more. And then I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is the best spring roll I've ever had. And I don't know what it is, but I really wanted to try them. Like, I went into Magic Kingdom saying I want to try them. And that was because Brianna Tata, I think her channel is, she talked about it. And I had an ongoing list on my phone of like what food and drinks I wanted to try. And that was on there. They did not disappoint. Moving on to day 6 of our Disney World vacation. This was Magic Kingdom day 2. Now this day was by far one of the best days in Disney I have ever had. We had a reservation for CRT, which I wasn't originally able to get, but one day, like 2 months before our trip, I was just scrolling through the app and there was a lunch reservation. I don't think I've ever booked something so fast. I was like, do I have the money to be spending this on right now? No. Am I going to? Yeah. And we got the very front and center table, and it was so incredible. The food was amazing. My boyfriend got the flounder and I got like the chicken pasta. The food, oh my gosh, because after Be Our Guest, we were like, you know, we're eating in the castle. The experience is probably greater than the food. No, no, no. The food and the experience were like perfectly matched. We walked out of there and we were like, I was so pleasantly surprised. He was too, and I think about that pasta more times than I probably should. That was my first time eating in the castle, and it is very safe to say that next time we go, we will probably be doing it again. And I had I forgot what flight it was, but it had like sangria, mimosa, and I think a peach Bellini, and it was really delicious. If you're planning your Disney World vacation and you are on the fence about booking that CRT reservation, just do it. Do it. I think starting soon, in the next week or so, the characters are coming back. So next time we go, we're definitely doing it again because I really want to see the princesses, because I grew up loving Disney princesses every day. My mom would say every day she would have to put on the Beauty and the Beast VHS, and then once it was finished, put it in the rewind machine and put it on again. And then I went through that with the Cinderella phase and a Little Mermaid phase. And still to this day, I love Disney princesses. So Nick, if you're watching this, we're just gonna have to go back and do it again. This was also the day that we rode Splash Mountain for the very last time. Now, I don't have a really big love for Splash Mountain. Honestly, it's just another log ride to me. But it was cool to say like, yeah, we rode Splash Mountain before it closed. But I would say that was both our favorite rides for the day, just because like it is leaving and that is a ride. The ride's still gonna be the same, it's just the theming. But that is the last time we will ever ride Splash Mountain, and it was just super cool to be able to say that we rode Splash Mountain one last time. And then obviously my next favorite thing is the Cinderella's Royal Table. I don't think any Disney dining will ever compare with that. Moving on to day 7. Now day 7 was a scheduled rest day. However, we decided to pay for another day of Epcot since our Epcot day got cut short, and I am so glad that we did. Now, Epcot is my least favorite park. I really don't enjoy any of the rides there, but Drinking Around the World and the Festival of the Arts was going on. We went on day 7 of our vacation, was the very first day of Festival of the Arts, so I'm really glad that we got to do that, because last time I was in Disney World, we missed Festival of the Arts by 1 day. So I was really excited. Plus, I'm a foodie. I love snacks. And boy, I ate around the world. I have a TikTok that I still have to edit, but it was about Festival of the Arts and eating and drinking around the world. So you guys should check that out. I plan on uploading it probably the same day that I'm filming this. We also went on Figment's Journey Imagination, whatever it's called. My boyfriend's never been on it before, but I have. And at the end of the ride, he looked at me and he was like, what trip did we just go on? I feel like I'm on acid. And we were like, but imagine riding that ride on acid. I'd probably have a panic attack. We also went on Mission Space. I hate Mission Space. You will never pay me enough money to go on that ride again. Even the green, I was like, get me out of here. I hate this. We went on the ball ride. I don't know what it's called. That's how much I don't like Epcot. I don't even know the names of the rides. Okay, enough with Epcot. Moving on to day 8 of our vacation, and we went to Animal Kingdom. Now, Animal Kingdom is my favorite park, naturally because I'm an animal lover, and secondly, my 2 favorite Disney movies are Lion King and Avatar. So obviously, we're gonna have Animal Kingdom as our favorite park. Speaking of avatars, did you guys know that you can make your own avatar in the Pandora gift shop? I did it, and I'm gonna show you guys it once I show all my souvenirs. But that was so cool. That was like my one expensive souvenir, part of my birthday gift, and my boyfriend got his lightsaber. That's like right there. And after that, we also ate at Rainforest Cafe. I loved it. That was my first time on Flight of Passage, because last time I was in Disney World, we didn't get a fast pass for it, and so we weren't able to ride it. Now, I do get motion sickness, so at the end of the ride, I was like a little queasy, but it was so worth it to ride that ride. If you guys haven't ridden it, 100% I recommend it. 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 stars. One thing I was disappointed about in Animal Kingdom was on Navi River Journey, the animatronic was down, and that is all I talked about like the last 3 days of our vacation with my boyfriend was, oh my god, you get to see the animatronic. Oh my god, it is the most like complex, amazing animatronic Disney has produced. And then it wasn't there. So I was very, very disappointed, but it was still a really great ride. In terms of Animal Kingdom, my favorite thing that we did that day was building my avatar. It was a really, really cool experience. And then my favorite ride was Flight of Passage, and I really do like Everest as well, and the safari. I have 3 favorite rides at Animal Kingdom. After Animal Kingdom, we went back to our hotel and just hung out. We had to pack because our flight left at like 7 a.m. at MCO. And if you guys don't know, MCO is probably the worst airport to fly out of on a Sunday. Our security line was like 45 minutes to an hour long. Luckily, I don't mind sitting at the airport if we get there too early. So I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, aren't you glad that I decided to leave the resort early, get us here early, so now we had enough time for security and to get breakfast? And he was like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, babe. But we flew out at 7 a.m. We flew from Orlando to Portland, Portland to Seattle, Seattle to Juneau. So we left, I think at like 7:30 Orlando time, and then landed in Juneau, 9 p.m. Juneau time. And I believe Juneau is 4 hours behind Orlando. So it was a very long travel day. But on our layover in Seattle, we had like a 6-hour layover. I was getting sick again. I think what happened is I caught something at Disney World and it incubated enough to where I was sick at that point. And then we landed at home in Juneau, very depressed, post-vacation depression, PVD, but I then got a raging ear infection, and instead of going back to work and school the next day, I was in bed for a week after we got back from vacation. And my ear is still kind of clogged. They said it could take up to 6 to 8 weeks for it to fully heal. So we're thriving. Now that we got through the itinerary, my camera's blinking, so I'm quickly going to run through our souvenirs that we got. First, these were in the background of the video the whole time, which I didn't know, but I got Disney 50th Crocs. Now, like I said, we live in Alaska. We don't have pool shoes, so we had to get sandals while we were there. And you bet your sweet Pippi I got some Crocs. Next is this really cute little wand. This was free from our CRT reservation, and it was for little kids, but again, you bet that I grabbed one. I got 2 pairs of ears. I got these like Alani ones, and then I got the, I don't know, pink, royal pink, I don't know. But funny story, when I worked at Disneyland, I had a pair of these like 5 years ago, and I left them at the Disneyland hotel, and I thought I'll never see them again. I'm never gonna be able to buy them again unless I go to Hawaii. I saw these in Frontierland, and I was like, absolutely, I don't care how much they are. So I got 2 new pairs of ears. Next, I got this weighted Simba for my anxiety, and I think he's like 2.5, 3 pounds. Like I said, Lion King is my favorite Disney movie, so obviously I had to get him. And lastly, here is my avatar. It's supposed to look like me. I don't think it looks like me, but if you guys are wondering how much this is, I think it was $70 total, or like $75 with tax. And then my boyfriend got the lightsaber, and he also got a Disney 50th polo, which is I think the same pattern as the Crocs. And then I got this cute pink Disney Spirit jersey. And then lastly, I got this cute little cup. It says the mountains are calling, and it has Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain. So it's a collector's item now because of Splash Mountain. But guys, there you have it. That was our Disney vacation. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.